This is a gift for Spirit Speaks Co. UK. This is a very romantic story behind this portrait. This is Su Ling. She passed on, and even though she's passed on, Spirit Speaks Co. UK and Su Ling are actually connected through spirit. So I decided to do this for him as a gift because he said he told me the story and I just couldn't keep away from doing her portrait. So here goes. This is the reading for Su Ling. This is a very powerful portrait. She's got so many colors, I couldn't even fit them all on the page. To start the reading, she has an orb around her eye, and in this orb is a symbol of a cross. And the symbol actually represents Christ. And what this means is, it's someone that she's connected to, and she watches over them literally all the time. And this person is connected to Christ. And in my reading, I'm saying that this is Neil. That's his name. So she's got this guide right here, right above her eye. It's very big, especially for someone on the human plane. It's pretty big. So Neil is a very powerful person that she watches over. The pink represents love and true love. And she's got a lot of pink. It's all over her face and around her head. So not only does she feel love towards this person, she also is always thinking about him, which is why the pink goes above her head right here. The purple streak down here is actually purple. You can't really see it on the webcam very well, but that represents universal love. And it's like a line between the love, and then it's incorporated with the pink, so that's actually pretty powerful. Not only does she love one person, she probably loved and loves a lot of people in her life. Very loving person. That's the first thing I got. The second thing is that there's a lot of green down here, and the green represents a link to nature. And I got a picture while I was doing this, that she was lying in a field in her previous life, lying in a field and being really connected to the earth and nature, and she probably spent a lot of her time lying underneath the trees and enjoying the sunlight and just, everything around her, very connected to source and grounding herself. The blue represents serenity, and it's an emotional feeling, but it's like a peaceful serenity feeling, which goes around the nature color. Down here she has another guide. It's I don't know who this is, but it's around her heart. So whoever this is always in her heart and in her feelings. The light, the yellow here, represents intelligence or a connection to Christ. In this reading I get that she was a very intelligent person, and she cared about the minority, so she probably did a lot of speeches maybe, or something like that, where she was always sticking up for the minority and thinking about the good of mankind, basically. What else? This, I found it very interesting that the orb around her eye is actually basically in the center of the picture. It's like the center of her world, and this connection to Neil is very strong. Constantly watching over him and constantly worrying about him, or caring about him, and she's always probably visiting him in his dreams and stuff. So yeah, this is I did this as a gift, so I hope you enjoy it, Neil. And when I was doing this, it was actually such a strong reading. The drawing part of it felt like my hand was being pushed around. It was so strong. I could have done it with my eyes closed. So she put an image in my head, and she probably wanted me to show you this. So I hope you enjoy it, and I can't wait till you get to see it in real life. Hi everybody. This is a reading for Neil, and his website on YouTube is Spirit Speaks Co. UK. And if you go to his site, you'll see that he does a lot of spiritual teachings about how to handle life and better yourself before we move on to the next realm. He's doing it completely out of love for spirit, and that you can see from his aura that he's actually very directly connected to Christ. So I'll start the reading with this this spirit right here, because it's the biggest orb I've seen for a long time. This represents Su Ling, and I did her reading a few days ago, actually. Su Ling is Neil's soulmate, and actually in this aura, as I tell you about it, you'll actually realize that they're soulmates through these symbols here. But starting out with this orb here, I've never seen an aura within an orb or a guide, so this is a first-time documentary for that. And as I was doing Neil's reading, Su Ling was actually sitting next to him the entire time, whispering into his ear and putting her hand on his shoulder and smiling the whole time. So she was constantly with him. And inside her orb here represents that her love for him. It's in the core, in the middle of her orb. So the purple represents unconditional love towards Neil, and the pink represents true love towards Neil. And this thing in the middle here, this symbol here, means the golden rose. I just got a picture of a golden rose in my head while I was doing his reading, so I thought that was very interesting. And then up here, above her aura, in Neil's aura space, he has unconditional love toward Su Ling, and then in here, you'll see he has a matching symbol, which means they're soulmates. And then around here, you can see all the pink that he has. He has a lot of love for Su Ling. It covers almost half his portrait. So that was very romantic. So half this portrait is all of basically Su Ling's love for Neil and Neil's love for Su Ling, which is very, I haven't seen love like that for a long time. It's very, very, very connected. And then down here, you'll see that there's darker green, which represents ability to ground yourself and center yourself, even in times of stress or if you're getting agitated or anything. Neil has the ability to center himself and see past the physical and actually realize what's really going on behind the scenes. And then it goes up to a lighter green here, which means that he really enjoys the outdoors and nature. And then he has a big spirit guide here. There's no symbols inside of it, but it does like to be in the space where Niels' aura represents the nature and being outdoors. So it likes being outside. It likes that energy. And then up here, this orb over here actually represents Christ because it's lined by gold. And then this symbol here is like the eye of Christ. And then it's raining down his teachings onto Neil. And you'll see here that the light blue represents peaceful serenity. And you can tell that this is actually belongs to this spirit here, because this whole area of blue and yellow, this golden shower, is part of this orb. It's actually literally raining it down onto his crown chakra, over his third eye, and then over his mouth, and then even down through his throat and over his cores, which means that he speaks the word of the Lord. Then he has another orb over here, which is pretty big, and that's constantly watching over him, which is why it's above his eye. I'm not sure who that is, but or these two, but they're very big guides. And then this symbol here represents, it's the cross, and it represents Christ, and that's actually over his third eye, which means that he can see prophecy or see psychic things that we can't normally see when it comes to religion or Christ or anything to do with Jesus. He's got a direct link to Jesus. I think that's about it. So I hope that you enjoy your reading, Neil. And this was a very fun portrait to do because there was a lot of enlightening features inside of it. So I can't wait till you get to see it, and you guys have a good day. Love and light.